Hello and welcome back to Newsx. I'm Thomas Porteous and you're watching Focal Length, where we get you a briefing on topics from across the world. In this conversation, we will discuss Ukraine's perspective on the recent Azerbaijan air crash and the war with Russia. This includes discussion on declaring no-fly zones by both of the countries. We will also try to find out, do Russia and Ukraine hold themselves accountable for the lives lost in the air crash? What are the chances of Ukraine to be made a member of NATO? Let's find out. Joining us is Mariana Bezuhla, a Ukrainian politician and a member of the Verkhovna Rada. Born in Kiev, she pursued a medical education at Bohomolets National Medical University and the Ukrainian Military Medical Academy. Before entering politics, Bezhula worked as a physician and civil servant. In Parliament, Bezhula has been an active member of the National Security Committee of Defence and Intelligence. Thank you, Mariana Bezuhla, for joining us. My first question to you is, how soon do you think a peace deal could be negotiated now that Trump is in power?
Actually, we still cannot say exactly how the events will go on. I hope that the future would be more predictable after the inauguration, but before there's more some kind of investigation from different sides, and especially from the Trump's team, what variants are possible. And of course, many of different quotes from them are rather questionable. And of course, Russia trying to use this situation as much as possible. But it's quite obvious that there is no clear perspective until the Trump became president with all the information and all the possibilities. It will be some kind of pushing of peace, but this peace, as the president also, as Ukrainian president said, and our vision that this peace is should be like force to force the aggressive country which attacked not aggressive country, and it should not be some kind of peace as a conqueror, as a possibility for Russia to conquer us, because it's nonsense in the modern world when a neighbor country just attack with rockets, kill children, and then they, because they are just bigger, okay, the world is saying, we will swallow this. It's nonsense.
What is stopping Ukraine from negotiating a peace deal?
What is stopping? They are trying to destroy us fully, and they continue to kill us, to kill our soldiers, to kill our civilians every day. So there is no any chance now for negotiation. And of course, it would be wonderful if US would have some real steps about the peace, but it should be real steps, not just like talking of all sides about the variants, but without any concrete actions. Now, there is even not like 1% of negotiation chance taken into account that when we are talking now, some soldiers and civilians are dying in Ukraine because of shelling, because of rockets, because of direct death from the Russian soldier.
What are the chances that Ukraine will be made a member of NATO?
It's hard question because taking into account what is the position was the real position from NATO members and from US especially, that we were promised a lot, but there is no concrete steps to take us into nature. So it can be being realistic. It can be some kind of matter for the table of negotiation if the negotiation even happen. So I cannot say just now what would be the chances in a couple of months or in a year, but just now chances is very low, are very low.
Ukraine has sought security guarantees and troops from NATO countries to be deployed along the border. Is this not akin to escalating the war?
And what is the escalation of the war if the war is happening just now? It's only can be discussed as nuclear weapon risk, but actually such risk and such quotes from Russians were many times during the last 3 years. So and different situation shown that Russians, if they think just like that their position is weak from Ukraine, from allies, from the world, they are just escalating. So with them is working vice versa. If they are forced to do something, they are de-escalating. But if they are they see there's opportunities in the weak environment, they are escalating situation. So understanding this psychological, social logic of the decision making of the Russian nation, it's quite understandable what is the determination of the further steps. So the force from NATO, from international soldiers as a peacekeeping mission would de-escalate situation, taking into account that there would be some kind of big, clear, and strong decision.
Who do you think is responsible for the Azerbaijani air crash?
As I said, it was Russian attack. And as I said previously, I'm not involved in detail in more information, just like the regular citizen about this case.
Is there a need to identify more no-fly zones to save innocent lives?
I suppose Russia should not be the fly zone, and they should be destroyed by sanctions.
Thank you, Mariana Bezuhla, for speaking to us on Focal Length. With that, it's a wrap on this episode. For more international news updates, stay tuned on Newsx.